This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Medvedin. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC only. Now this is a rather interesting map. This is a map that takes the build your own farm to the extreme from the standpoint that the fields are in, there's viable land, but all the farms are completely blank. They are virtual blank slates ready for you to use all of the placeables available to you to build out your own unique farm area. There are 3 large building areas and 1 smaller building area, 43 fields, including 9 meadows, 8 sell points, sawmill, multiple forests, land purchasing. This map is seasons prepared, and this map does have a soil mask, but it is using the Felsburn soil mask. It's not using the generic soil mask, which happens to be the same as the Felsburn mask. It is explicitly calling the Felsburn soil mask, which is kind of interesting. We're going to take a look at how that all ends up playing out on the PDA here in a little bit. Go ahead and load up mods that we typically take a look at when we do these map videos. Did load this map up with Seasons and Straw Harvest. There's no issue running either of those or both of those at the same time with this particular map. And there we go. Not a lot to load up because there's not a lot of placeables. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Zoom out, we see that we have pretty much most of the map area as playable area. You have all of the standard crop types available to us on Farm Sim here on the map. And if we take a look at the lands area, you'll see that we start out in New Farmer, owning this field up here to the north, or not this field. This is a buildable area to the north. We also have areas 40, 52, and 43, 10 acres of farmable land there that is mostly loam, a little silty clay, and a little sandy loam. Gives us an expected yield of 113%. Now there are three other kind of buildable areas. There's one right here attached to field 29. There's one over here for 0 money. One right here for 0 money. And it includes 7, 8, and 48. Sell this one for 0 money. That is interesting. And this farm includes field 8 and 49. I didn't notice that earlier. But all 3 of the kind of buildable areas include their own fields for 0 money. Now, I was going to suggest that this would be best played in Start from Scratch because you get the most amount of money, $1.25 million. And in all play modes, there is equipment down here at the shop. So Farm Manager is going to give you the most opportune money in order to take advantage and get started here on the map. But that might change the fact that you've got 3 fields and farm area here for no money. Got this area, buildable farm, and these 3 fields for no money. Or you could have this area and these 2 fields for no money. All the other fields do cost us some money. Interesting. You have those choices. Our viable forests on the map here. There's one down here by the shop. 16.76 acres, $203,000. Another one over here, $115,000, $87,900, and $335,000. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that soil mask. You can see now how the soils break down on the arable fields. These are set up as grass. That's why they're not showing up. I think. Maybe not. That's got wheat in it, supposedly. I'm not seeing it here. Very interesting. Why we're only getting a partial exposure of the map with the soil mask exposed. I wonder if that is implying that this map is somehow not quite properly set up, because what we've seen to date is arable fields. Typically you can uncover the soil mask, but grass fields cannot until you pile them over. Check grass and come back over here. Yeah, not sure. Not sure why we're only seeing a partial exposure. But you can see here we've got a fair bit of silty clay up. Loam scattered around, but not a whole lot of loam has been exposed to us with this picture. Sandy loam and some loamy sand. Take a look at our prices screen. You'll see that we have two main sell points that will sell or buy the bulk of our crops. You have a root crop dedicated sell point, one sell point for eggs, one sell point for wool. I have a sell point also for milk, wood chips, and we have this particular sell point. We'll accept our silage, hay straw, and grass. There isn't a biogas plant, as best I can recall, on this map, and we do have support for our pellets if we make use of the straw harvest add-on. As I said, in all farm modes, you do start with some equipment, and we're going to take a closer look at that equipment in a little bit. There are no animal areas because, well, there's no farm buildings on this map, as we've said already, and we do have contracts available to us, and man, look at that one. $20,000 to fertilize a 27-acre field. Pretty nice. Field 29 is 13 acres in size. Field 2 is 7.6. Field 9. Seeing it. Mine's over there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the starting equipment. Start out with the Stara ST Max 105 and ST Max 180. Tractors ranging horsepower from 105 to 180 horsepower. The RSM 106 harvester and the TDK 1600 trailer. We're matching the harvester with the Draper Stream 900 grain header. We have the POH 5 plow and BTC 50H cultivator. Then have the Vanderstand Spirit R 300S seeder, Kuhn fertilize sprayer. We have the Kuhn fertilize spreader. And that is all of the starting equipment. Now, there are no custom placeables included with the map. So if you want to put down your farm buildings, you're going to be putting down either stock buildings or going out and finding your own mods. Put down occupy farm areas. So with that, let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around the map. There really isn't much need for a tour of each individual farm because, well, again, you're going to be building those out yourself. Start in town here. Let's just go ahead and loop around. Start right here at a water trigger. We've got some sell points through the town here. 3 main sell points over here. Grocery store style sell point. Animal dealer. Lime. Silo. And then bale sell point. There. Head on over to the shop, and then we'll swing around the map in a counterclockwise direction. Have our shop, and you can see our starting equipment all lined up there nice and neat. And just on the other side of this forest is, well, one of the massive buildable areas. There it is. That is kind of the scale of what we've got to work with here. Again, remember, you buy this for nothing. Nice and flat land. This is a map for farm builder's dream. So, you know, one thing I've talked in the past about is that no man's land is the virtual blank canvas. But for some, that blank canvas can be rather intimidating. This map takes some of the intimidation out of that blank canvas and gives you a map. It gives you forests, it gives you roads, it gives you fields, town, it gives you sell points, and what you have is some flat land that is void of anything. There's that little building area I mentioned, in order to actually build out your farm. And I have to say, I don't feel near as intimidated thinking about what I would do on this map as I do on No Man's Land. Just there's so many options. On No Man's Land, it's like I'm paralyzed with, not fear, but paralyzed with indecision. Whereas here, well, I can kind of pick a starting area based on, you know, how the land looks, how the fields look. And then once I get there, I can kind of muddle my way through building out these farms. Areas are huge. Map author has given us a huge building area here. Really don't know why this is for PC only. I do know I was looking through the mod, and I did see that this map does support dynamic mud. I did see the dynamic mud script in. Here we have our sell point for our logs and wood chips. Making our way up to the third large building area. And the area we were just at, that's the area you start out with. But again, since all these areas are free, don't like that one, just sell it and buy another one for no money. Press this hill, seeing now the third large buildable area. Turn around, I'll tell you, frames are not a problem on this map. If you're having a problem with frames, then you've either got a very, very underpowered system, or you've got something really going on, a bad mod, because frames are not a problem. There's the frame counter. Farm Sim, if you're not aware, typically locks you at 60 frames per second, no matter what. Now, to have development controls, I can go in here and turn off frames with a frame lock and watch what happens. 160, 180, depending on where you are on the map, you might even see 200 plus. Frames are not going to be a problem on this map unless you're running with some very, very low-end hardware. Just saying. Just for the sake of the recording, I'm going to go ahead and lock that back down to 60. Turn it off for us. We have one more sell point down here. Then I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the shop and do a little bit of a drive around, not only to the sell points, I think we might also just kind of drive the roads, get kind of a feel for the land. I think the map author did a really, really good job with the terrain and the elevation changes for the sell point. Fields aren't square for the most part, but they're also not that complexity shaped. They should be fairly well behaved for AI help. I mean, the AI will probably run into a little issue here with how this field cuts in and then comes out and cuts back in again. But overall, looks like a pretty easy map, I think, to play on. Pretty easy map for the AI. Pretty decent, interesting map for someone who's looking for a multiplayer map with 2 or 3 other friends. Each of you have kind of your own area. Got our buy, sell, trade icon there. Shop icon. Have our spawn point. Take a look across here. They were probably going to be doing most of this driving in this perspective. Look at this area. This thing is huge. And if you don't want to make this a farm, there's no reason you can't just plow it under. Make it another field. You want to play this map in single player, and you don't want these big open areas, well, you could just create fields. And, well, there you go. You got yourself another field. Let's head on in here to town. Check out all the buy areas. Man, I'm hoping that there's a fence here. So here we've got our traffic. Our fuel station. We have our bale sell point. Animal dealer. And our bulk lime trigger. Another sell point right here at the grocery store, basically. Pretty tight little town roads. On in here, we've got grain sell point. And then I suspect one of these is going to be our spinnery. Spinnery to the left, and our milk sell point to the right. I said we have a water trigger over there. This is going to take us out of town. And loop us up to the buildable area that we own at the start on New Farmer. Bit of a field hidden back there past the trees. Go ahead and come on in here to the Sawmill area. Like I said, I think the map author did a really good job with the terrain elevations. Flat fields, there's some rolling hill fields. Log, cell point right there, and wood chips. Just sneak around this way. This way anyway, if we're going to double back to that buildable area and just kind of drive through that. This is the buildable area that we own at the start. How massive this is again. Different perspective. Been in towns smaller than these buildable areas. Just a standard size map. This is not 4x or anything like that. This road will loop us around. Got the map border over there. We are tree line to kind of hide the 2D trees. Then of course we've got nothing beyond that. Standard camera perspective, that's pretty darn good for hiding the map border that we're driving right up next to. We've got the third buildable area. Right here. I'm still curious why only had a very partial exposure of the soil mask with that command. And then we've got just 2 more cell points to take a look at. our drive-through. And that'll be it. So what do y'all think of this map? Well, I'm calling it Medvedin. It's kind of has a Polish look to it as far as some of the road signs and some of the other areas. So not really sure how that should be spoken, but any rate, what do you all think of this map? What do you think of this concept where we basically have a pre-built farmlands, pre-built sell points, but then the buildable farms are just blank slates? Had maps where farms are built in, hard-coded, can't change them. We've had maps where farms are pre-built. Once you buy them, you can sell the buildings and get them back to a blank slate point. Then we have this map that doesn't try to do either of those. Just says, go build your own farms, but I've made the rest of the map for you, so you don't have to worry about that part. And there we go. So, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.